everybody, welcome to another video. Merry Christmas. Hope you're ready to do some crisp math. Alright, got the Christmas colors going. We're going to practice our super cool, fun exponent rules and do a bunch of examples, and it's going to be great. So let's go ahead and start. We got this example here, and basically what we're going to do is we're going to simplify as much as we can and leave everything with positive exponents. That's the goal of all these problems. So just simplify as much as I can. Let's see. Okay, so first I'm going to start off, I'm going to multiply these powers because I have a power to a power. So I'm going to use that law where I multiply the powers, and I'm left with x to the negative 12 times 2x to the fourth. Okay, and now you can do one of two things. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add these powers because I have x to the negative 12 times x to the fourth, right? The order doesn't matter with multiplication. I can move this 2 to the beginning. So I have 2 times x to the negative 12 times x to the fourth. I'm going to add the exponents. That's x to the negative 8, and that equals 2 over x to the 8th power. And we're leaving it like this because we don't want our answer with negative exponents. So we'll leave it like this and we're done. And you could have brought this to the bottom and then canceled and have been left with the 8 on the bottom. That works perfect too. Okay, so we'll go ahead and do this example. Let's see, 3x squared y squared all over 2y x to the negative 1. So really in this case you can split it up if you want into 3 fractions and get all the constants and then all the x's and all the y's. But I think we're ready to just do this, you know. I think we're ready. So top exponent minus bottom exponent. So I have the 3 over 2, and that just stays. Top exponent minus bottom. So the 2 minus negative 1. And that's going to bring me x to the third on top. And then I have 2 minus 1. And that's going to bring me just y. So what I'm left with is just 3/2 times x cubed y. Alright, so let's go ahead and knock out 2 more examples. What do we have here? We have 4x to the 0 power squared, and that's all over x to the negative 2 times y. So let's go ahead and start with the top. This 2 is actually going to distribute, right? The 2 goes to the 4, so 4 becomes squared. That's going to give us our 16 at top. But what do we have here? X to the 0 is just 1. And 1 squared is just 1, so it's really just 16 on top. And on the bottom is still x to the negative 2 times y. So now all we have left to do is bring the x to the negative 2 up to the top, right? Because we want all the exponents to be positive. So this is equivalent, and then what we're left with, 16x squared y. There we go. All right, next example. 2x squared y cubed, and the whole thing is being raised to the 0 power over 3y cubed, and this is times 2x to the negative 2 y, and that whole thing is squared over x to the negative third. So a bit of a doozy, but let's look at this part first. What do we have here? We have 2x squared y cubed to the 0 power. So we have something to the 0 power. So I can really just cross this out and write 1. Right? Anything to the 0 power is 1. Even if it's a bunch of stuff, it can be 10 different variables, or it can just be 1 to the 0 power. It's still just 1. So let's see, I'm going to go ahead and write this equals, and I'm going to write 1 over 3y cubed. 1 over 3y cubed. And I have this times, let's see if I can make this a little simpler. Let's see, everything in here gets squared. This 2 distributes, right? So it's going to be 4, and then x to the negative 2 times, negative 2 times 2, right? Remember my rules. X to the negative 4th, and then y squared, and that's all over x to the negative 3. And now I'm going to combine these. I'm going to combine these because I'm multiplying 2 fractions. I can just multiply across. 1 times this, 3y cubed times this. So let's see what I'm left with here. 4x to the negative 4th y squared over 3y cubed x to the negative 3rd. And now I can do top exponent minus bottom exponent for both x and y. So this should be my final answer. 4 over 3. I'm going to extend this to one fraction. 4 over 3. Top minus bottom. Let's see. Negative 4 minus negative 3. That's x to the negative 1 up top. But I want my answer to be a positive exponent. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of skip a step and bring it down to the bottom. X to the negative 1 in the top is just x to the 1 in the bottom, right? And what is left of my y? Let's see. Y squared. So that it's basically 2 minus 3. Top exponent minus bottom exponent. 2 minus 3 gives me y to the negative 1 up top. But again, I don't want a negative exponent. So I'm going to go ahead and bring it to the bottom again. I'm going to bring the y to the bottom as well. And let's see, this is just my final answer. 4 over 3xy. And so I've simplified this big long thing into be just 4 over 3xy. So that's probably our last example for now. In the next video, we'll do more with rational expressions or stuff. But if you need more practice with this, go practice. There's tons of resources online. But if this video helped you, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe. Thank you for watching. Keep making those brain gains. See you later.